Yes, yes.
I saw on your website one of the blurbs about your books, like the last line said, and does free will exist, I think.
Yeah.
Well,
I didn't write that crap. I mean, that's the publisher who writes that kind of crap.
Well, I saw you have a degree in philosophy, so do you try and put those philosophical ideas into your story anyway?
I tried not to, and here's why. I mean, it's inescapable that y'all don't no one likes to be lectured to. And a lot of times if you're trying to be overly symbolic or overly philosophical, the reader goes, oh, shut up. You ain't that smart. You're from South Carolina, boy, you know. But I can't escape it. I mean, I studied all that philosophy, and I still read it occasionally and go, what's this mean? And it's just if you said, quote some Spinoza, quote some Leibniz, I couldn't do it. But if I read it, I probably would. And I know that all those 4 years of studying philosophy and reading some after just kind of seeped in. And the guys that I like, Wittgenstein and then Schopenhauer. I mean, Schopenhauer was just this madman. And even the old guys like Diogenes. I mean, I like the real skeptic, mean, Diogenes walking around with a lit lantern in the daylight saying, I'm looking for an honest man, or getting a... Who was it? He asked the king or whatever. Was it Peter the Great or somebody? He goes, I want to talk to you. Well, what do you want? Well, just stand there so you block the sun. Give me a little shade. I mean, he was like nuts, Schopenhauer went around with this gold coin, and he would go to an English pub for lunch every day and put this big gold coin out and eat, and then put the gold coin back in his pocket and pay for his meal and leave. And finally the guy says, why are you doing that? And it's an English pub, and he says, I'm waiting for a day when I think English people have a good conversation, an intelligent conversation, and then I'm going to give it to them. And I've never heard them have. He's just mean. All right. Does that help? Yeah, thanks. The comedian, actor, director, Steve Martin was a philosophy major, and he kind of says the same stuff. He says, I studied it all, I was very interested in it, but it just kind of made me view... What I'd say is it caused me to view the world in the way I do, which is, this is screwy,
So is there a direct correlation between study of philosophy and comedy?
Probably. I mean, I never really thought about it, but I think it's pretty... I went to the dean's office, and I was talking about Wittgenstein. He goes, hey, look at this cool book of the original manuscript. And I'm reading all this stuff by Wittgenstein. It's like, the world is all that is the case. I said, hey, Dr. Williams, come here. I want to read you some stuff. The world is made up of facts, not things. And he went, what does that even mean? What we cannot speak of, we must pass over in silence. This is goofy, That's goofy. It's just absurd. Okay, then we can't speak anything, so we all better shut up, as opposed to just talking nonstop like I am, Shooting birdshot, hoping to say something smart. Yeah, I think it's kind of funny. Life is kind of funny. I'm from South Carolina. You heard about my governor lately? That's funny. And it all goes back. I mean, what I live off of is, you're welcome, by the way. Y'all are going around saying, dadgum, our governor keeps talking about secession, but that governor's an idiot, Oh, this is on tape, isn't it? Gee. I went to college with our governor. He's an idiot. But anyway, what was I was going to say something about comedy, philosophy. Okay, so this all goes back. Samuel Beckett, the great Irish playwright, said, there's nothing funnier than human misery. And it's like that sounds mean, but it's kind of true. If we're watching Three Stooges, which only men seem to think is really funny, and women just kind of put up with it, I think. But if I see Larry hit Moe with the frying pan, and then Curly's doing that stuff, I go, that's funny, because it ain't happening to me. And then that goes all the way back to Aristotle and his notion of catharsis, Oedipus stabbing his eyeball out. It goes, man, my life stinks, but at least I'm not sleeping with my mama and stabbing my eyeball out, And that's all, comedy. So, except in South Carolina where we do that all the time. That's kind of a rule. Turn 18, you can do all that. Okay, next question.
So what's going to happen to your governor?
Have you seen our lieutenant governor? Let me tell you about him. First of all, his name is Andre. My old publisher's name was Andre, so I know men named Andre, but there aren't a whole lot of men named Andre in South Carolina. And he looks like Eddie Munster. He's got that thing. And he's been caught 2 or 3 times driving like 105, 95 miles an hour, not on official business, right? He crashed an airplane. He's flying this airplane. He's drunk out of his mind, I'm pretty sure. He crashed it near the North Carolina-South Carolina border. Ooh, they call up to 911. He's got a buddy with him. They get him in an ambulance, and he's kind of hurt. We're going to go to this close. Well, I don't know. Drive on to the next. Keep driving. So they drive like 50 miles to Spartanburg, where he's got a buddy from college who's working at that hospital. So maybe some truth won't come out, and I just don't. And there are no, I'm a dyed-in-the-wool Democrat. I've been that way. My dad made me be that way. That's just how I am. But there ain't no good Democrats inside. I mean, if they're sane enough not to run, So who knows? I think that guy isn't going to quit, though. Who knows? I don't care. I got to quit. I was telling Dr. Hudson, before all this crap with Argentina and our governor, I dislike this guy so much because the pen is mightier than the sword, or as in South Carolina they say the pen is mightier than the sword. I would always have a little simple-minded guy. You ever see that movie Tropic Thunder, and there's Simple Jack, the movie? Well, I had a little character like that in every story. Just make a minor appearance, but his name was Little Simple Marco Sanford, named after my governor. I can't use that anymore because that's too easy, It was my little joke back then, but now everybody go, well, that's too easy. The guy's in enough trouble. And, it was love at first sight, whatever. Amoro. One more. I swear I won't answer for a long time. Dr. Hudson. Oh, mine wouldn't be on there. Flannery O'Connor, Complete Stories. I did everything wrong in college. They said read the classics, and I wouldn't. I was hard-headed, so I read Thomas Pynchon, Sam Beckett, Eugene Ionesco, these playwrights. Donald Barthelme, who lived in Houston for a number of years. John Barth. I think it's good to know all that Faulkner. I think it's really good to know William Faulkner, especially if you're going to be on Jeopardy one day. But if you wrote like William Faulkner, I don't think you'd get published today, unfortunately. Just wouldn't. Those are great books. Absalom, Sound of the Fury, all that. For short stories, which I would rather read and write, I would go Flannery O'Connor. I'd go with John Cheever, although I don't care about rich people. But, man, as a craftsperson, he's great. And Raymond Carver, probably. Yeah, probably. All right, that it? That's it. I'm going to quit sweating now. Thank you all. Thank you. Thank you, man.